Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ECC Season 8 Vortex Playoffs. We're starting things off on a Championship Sunday. Who's going to get this win? That's what remains to be seen. Joining me for this first game is going to be Herbie.
Oh boy, what a pleasure it is to be here for the first of this quartet of fixtures to conclude the ECC8 season. And to open things up, we are covering the winners bracket final between Orgless and Little Wamens. And the winner of this fixture will move on to the grand final itself, getting that one-game advantage and a minimum of €100 from this prize pool that is on offer today. So there is a lot at stake here already in this very first match of the stream.
Yeah, starting as they mean to go on, every game today is meaningful. It's not like other days where, if you lose one game in playoffs, you sort of have a little bit of a cushion. You'll still be okay. There's teams in playoffs that aren't really as good as the others. All four of these teams are absolutely amazing, and all four of them could be worthy winners of this prize pool. And who do you think is going to win this one? Do you think Orgless will take it, or do you think the Little Wamens, they might not be good at spelling their name, but they'll be good in the server?
Well, if the head-to-head result in league play is anything to go by, this would be a win for Orgless, as that was a 4-game victory for them during the regular season. And another big thing to point out, Orgless are actually unbeaten over the course of the season. They did take one loss via a forfeit, but they won all 8 of the fixtures that they did participate in, as opposed to Little Wamens, who did drop 2 matches, including the aforementioned defeat to Orgless. So, I mean, you go unbeaten in the Vortex in league play, it would be a pretty good indicator that you want to continue that momentum into the playoffs. If you don't lose in league play, why not lose in the playoffs either?
Yeah, I guess the question is, though, will the playoffs be a completely different beast? That's the question that these two teams are going to be having to answer. It's Orgless in the blue corner going up against Little Wamens there in the orange.
And we are about to get underway as we see Orgless and Little Wamens in the first series of 4 on the final stream of the ECC8 season, and we are underway as the kickoff pops out to the right side for Little Wamens to try and take control. It's Creamy from the ceiling to try and drag it downwards, and it's cleared back by Nugget, so no kickoff goal to open up this game.
Yeah, we're going to have to start things off the usual way, but Peony almost making me eat my words. It's a double save. Well, Crossbar did half the work, Milne did the other half, and they've gone down the other end of the pitch. Swift with a save. Not going to stop Milne, though. That's a fast start. 4 attacks in the space of 20 seconds. Results in Nugget setting up Milne for the opening goal.
That shows the pace is going to be very high throughout these Vortex playoffs as we have the first goal 20 seconds in, and it has gone to the favourites to take this series. Orgless, a good way to start off, getting that first goal on the board. Gives yourself a little opportunity to gain some momentum and start to play the brand of Rocket League that has made you so famous over the course of the season and saw you to the top of the standings.
And maybe just a chance for Orgless to say to Little Wamens, I know that you guys think this is playoffs. You think this might be different from when we met in league play, but it certainly won't. But Little Wamens, no shortage of shots for them. It's another one put in by Swift. Still yet to find their mark. Maybe just a little bit of teething problems in this game number 1. Still plenty of time to go. 4 minutes, in fact, of what is going to be a long best of 7.
Well, Creamy is the key figure for Little Wamens with 28 goals in 30 games over the course of the season. The top scorer for the team needs to try and get themselves on the board at some point in this game 1 to set the tone for them so that they can start to play their kind of brand of Rocket League. This is a good shot from Paney, and the rebound falls for them as well towards the bottom left corner, and Paney had a option to slot it into the net, tying the game up. Good as a neutral to see both teams score in the early going.
Yeah, and it felt almost like a miracle that they hadn't scored earlier. That was their 5th shot, their first one to find the net. Peony with it. You mentioned Creamy. Peony also showing his name should be in the conversation. Has tied things up. Little Women, they are the team that's had, I feel like, the lion's share of the attack, and it's definitely fair on the scoreboard that they are now level.
But Milner might have an opportunity to put this into the centre for Forza, but Creamy steals this back, carries it down the left wing, has some room to manoeuvre, cuts inside, beautiful pass off the backboard. Milner clears this one out to the right side, gets it back again off the ceiling, flits it over to Creamy, who now sends it back in off the attacking corner. Creamy will get another touch on this and directs it goalwards, looking for Swift, and it's cleared out by Milner, but Orgless is starting to show some cracks in their defence at the moment, and there is the second goal. Little Wamens have dominated the last minute or so of play.
Yeah, 100%. A feast of attacking Rocket League coming out here. Forza with the touch. Penny seemed to just go flying through the air, not using any boost, just seemed to float from his own defensive half shows up to score the goal that takes them into the lead with 3 minutes gone. So much attacking, both teams really going at this. Little Wamens, they have had the lion's share of the shots, another one from Forza, but on the counter, Orgless looked dangerous, and that could have been a moment there from Milne to put that ball in. Guess it's a question of who wins. Is it the attack or is it the counter-attack?
Well, it's a counter-attack that's happening for Little Wamens right now, as that is a huge pass forwards from Creamy. Will be cleared out by Milne. There's going to be an opportunity for Swift to put it back in. Off the crossbar it goes. Payne follows this up onto the rebound. Off the bar again. Creamy will carry it out to the left wing, carrying it up the sidewall. Runs into a block there from the Orgless defence, and Forza will follow it up through midfield, trying to drag it downwards. And that is the quality of goal we can expect to see throughout these playoffs. We are level again.
Great work by Forza in the air. Puts the ball exactly where he wants it to win that 50 on the goal line. Peony may have scored both goals for his team, but he's unable to stop Orgless picking up their second. This has been a great game so far. It's just a question of which one of these two teams can keep the intensity going for the remainder, or maybe they both can. We'll see. Maybe an overtime in this game number one. So far, a very intriguing series, and I have no clue who's going to win.
Yeah, the more goals that happen in this game one, I feel like the more importance it's going to take on in the context of the best of seven as a whole. Both teams exchanging blow for blow, and there could be another one as Creamy was trying to drag that towards the far post. Payne will flick in the rebound, and Swift with the follow-up shot. Milner saved that, coming under some pressure from the attacker. We have about 30 seconds of scoreless action, but it's still going end to end.
Yeah, certainly. A shot there from Swift, a little bit too wide of the post. Payne on for the hat-trick, trying to centre that one in. It's cleared away though by Nugget, who's a man I don't think we've mentioned that much so far. Maybe and a chance for him to try and get in the game with a goal there. Was saved by Creamy. Nugget again in the defence. Might have to stop something here from Swift. He's going to try and trace that ball in. Milne on the wall, looking pretty good. Gets it up the pitch. It is blocked on the halfway line though. So far both teams trying to do a lot in the air, trying to find those shots. Not really a lot coming through. That's a double touch though from Creamy. Makes me eat my words and takes Little Women to their third goal.
Yes, I already highlighted the importance of Creamy, who uses 487 boosts per game and has been given access to that as well. We haven't seen too much running of interference from either of these teams so far. Not many demos going on, not too many bumps. There has been attempted bumps, and as I say, there is a demo coming through, but it feels like both of these teams are being given an opportunity to play their kind of Rocket League at the moment. But as I say that, Payne has opened up a 2-goal lead for the Little Wamens, and with just 1:20 to go, things are going to be very tough for Orgless from here on out.
The teams have been showing each other a lot of respect, giving each other space. You can't give Payne that space though. He's shown he's been lethal so far in this game with his previous 2 goals. He adds a third one to the pile, and Orgless, and we're looking so invincible in league play. They're going to have to take a turnaround here in the remaining minute of game number 1. Payne with the shot though. He's looking for a 5th goal. That would kill things off. Swift looking to centre. Goes for the double touch. Nugget hit that one away only as far as Creamy up in the air. Loses out to Forza. Been winning some good 50s in the air so far for his team, but it's not been enough to see them take the lead as we have passed the 1 minute threshold. It's do or die in this game number 1 for Orgless.
That was a huge miss in the defensive third there for Nugget, but Forza puts a shot on target. Payne has to cut across to make the save on that occasion. Nugget tries to direct it downwards towards the centre, but the passing plays are not connecting for Orgless at the moment, and Little Wamens will capitalise on the counter-attack as Creamy scores their second of the game. 705 points for them. What a performance.
What a performance indeed. That's going to shake Orgless up. They're going to realise that their league form, though how impressive it was, it doesn't matter now. What they need is to win this playoff game, get to that grand final, and they look to try and change up their play going into game number 2. Because at the moment, they've looked a little bit off the pace when you compare them to the Little Wamens side. They have had a remarkable 18 shots so far.
And this shot from Orgless headed towards the bottom right corner, but Payne was equal to the challenge and made the save. Swift very nearly had an opportunity to counter-attack over the top. And as we're headed into the last 15 seconds of the game, it doesn't look like Orgless will make too much of a dent on the scoreboard, but they're trying at least for a consolation goal. But the last 10 seconds will be ticking off the clock, and Little Wamens have put a stamp on this Game 1 performance as it's the hat-trick goal for Creamy.
Yeah, it's a statement performance indeed, and that's a hat-trick for Creamy, a hat-trick for Payne. Excellent work from both of them. Swift, he may not have scored. He's contributed a fair bit though. Had 1 assist, had 4 shots of his own. And I mean, you don't really need to be on the pace whenever your teammates are getting all those goals. And that miss in the air by Forza, sort of emblematic of the game they've had so far.
Well, the good news for Orgless is it's going to script for them. A Game 1 defeat is exactly what Orgless faced in the league play season before they came back to win that series in 4. So they've been in this position before, but this was a dominant performance from Little Wamens with a 18-shot performance in Game 1. That's so many to be putting on target at this level. I was expecting more of a gritty affair, lower scoring, but Little Wamens, whenever they got the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it, and the Orgless defense showed signs of vulnerability.
Yeah, it tends to be what we expect when we see playoff games. You expect teams to be a little bit nervous, but maybe when you get to the Vortex at such a high level, they're almost just used to high-profile games. They're used to the pressure, and theirs really just showed up. Creamy hat-trick, Penny hat-trick, you already mentioned that. 18 shots as well. Just crazy stuff. And I guess the real question is for Orgless, can they come back into this? Can they show us how strong they really are in this series? Or will it slip away from them? And will that Vortex trophy be getting slightly further away from their grasp?
Well, for either of these teams, there will still be an opportunity in the lower bracket if they do lose this series, but you want that one-game advantage in the final regardless of who you're going to end up facing, and Little Wamens are 25% of the way there, but winning Game 1 in the best of 7 is not always conducive to winning the series as a whole. Certainly a very good start, but there is equal opportunity for Orgless to get themselves back into this as we head over to Forbidden Temple for game number 2.
Pressure on Orgless' shoulders. An excellent performance in game number 1 for Little Wamens. If they win this one in a similar style, I think it might just completely break Orgless' mentality. Orgless, they'll look to get an early doors goal here, as they did in the first game. They are forced on the defensive though. Forza says no to that, hits that ball forward, only as far as Penny, who hits that one towards Milnes. Bit of passing between the two sides, clearances turning into setups for the opposition, but nothing really sticking at the moment. Here comes Creamy, takes the ball down, goes to try and take it over. Forza doesn't. Forza, he's been very good in the air throughout this series so far. It's just a shame that he's not really set up his teammates for success in a way. He's just been getting those aerials and nothing's really been built off those attacks.
Yeah, it's the hallmark of a team that is struggling a little bit to generate left to right passing when one player takes on a shot like that and doesn't really have the support that they need from their teammates to get it past the rotating defense. And Orgless would love to crack this game open with the first goal again and then try and use that momentum to build on the advantage. And here it goes towards the corner, beating two defenders in the air. I don't feel like that ball should have made it all the way through, but Orgless will certainly take it.
Yeah, I think that's the first mistake really we've seen from Little Wamens. It was Penny missing the ball in the air. Maybe a little bit of a fake from Forza though. Might have thrown him off a tiny bit, so I wouldn't put all the blame at Penny's door. But it is going to see, once again, the first goal going the way of Orgless. The question is, can their defence hold? Or maybe offensively they could just score enough to try and stem the bleeding that Little Wamens inflicted them on the last game. A lot of questions still to be asked, and we've still got 3 minutes to see which way this one goes.
And Swift puts a dangerous ball into the middle for Paney, who drops it down right in front of the net. Massive pinch clearance over the top. Creamy's going to have trouble dealing with that one. Pinches it off the backboard. Forza's going to put it back into the danger area, looking for the double tap. But there was a defender alive to the danger along the backboard to make the clear. Still more pressure coming here from Orgless as Milner directs it towards the net. Terrific finish, banking it off the sidewall. And Orgless have a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, this is the Orgless side that you'd expect to see from league play. Milner with a great shot, hits the ball over the keeper. Nothing he could have done there. Made a decent attempt at making the save. Just a little bit too strong, and Orgless looking a little bit too strong as they've doubled their advantage here.
Creamy now to try and carry it in the opposite direction, maybe looking to put Little Wamens on the board as they're about to go potentially 2 minutes scoreless after putting up 6 in the previous game. Maybe should have saved some for this one. They'll still feel in control at the back as long as they can keep the deficit down to 2, but it's been all Orgless in possession so far in this game. It's a stark contrast to the previous one.
I mean, if you consider in the first game they had 18 shots, they probably had about 7 or 8 by this time. So far they've only had 2. This game has been completely different. Maybe Orgless, they've sort of got the number of their opponents at the moment. Looking for a third goal here. Not going to find it though. Swift with a good touch away. Forza been good in the air, trying to hit this one down for his teammate Nugget. I was hoping for a pinch there. Didn't quite come off. Swift misses that one. Milne to recenter, but there's no one else forward for the blue side. Let's Creamy take this one down. Starts the dribble, gets it past one, takes it into the air. Not enough boost. Instead sets up his teammate in Swift, who misses. Penny with the flick on. Swift going for it again. Not able to get that one. So it's turned into quite an aerial game here. Team is dueling in the air, but yet to see a real goal come from that. It seems to be just the ground plays that are getting both the goals so far for Orgless. Maybe that will change in the remaining 2 minutes though.
Yeah, you can sense that the creativity is still there for Little Wamens, but they haven't been able to find the finishing product there, as Paney had an opportunity to lather a shot on goal from midfield. Milner now over to Forza. Off the ceiling it goes for Creamy to step up and make the clear. Paney helps it on, banks it off their own teammate looking for the follow-through pass. Swift will get a chance to shoot from distance and decides to deflect it off into the corner, looking for an extra touch, and they're setting up for a shot on goal here, but that ball sprays over to the right wing and Paney takes a demo that will allow Forza the opportunity to clear in the direction of Nugget. On a solo rush at the moment, they barreled their way through to the corner. Nugget directs it towards the middle, but it's cleared out. This is all more time off the clock for Orgless. They are definitely playing the game that they wanted to so far here in Game 2.
And a great chance goes begging from Forza. Nugget makes no such mistake. They have their third goal, and genuinely what has happened to Little Wamens? Just 2 shots so far, both from Creamy. They've really not found their footing in this game number 2. Forbidden Temple, looks like it seems that they're forbidden to score a goal here.
It's very surprising to see such a turnaround from Game 1 to Game 2. Free-flowing offence to being potentially shut out here if they can't put anything past the Orgless defence in the next 1 minute 20. Paney to try and send it goals, and now it's Swift's turn, following it up, looking for the bump as well. But Forza puts this one in the direction of the goal, and Milner was looking for the redirect, but that one just hits the crossbar on the left side. Still, Orgless piling away at the goal though, looking to add to their 3-goal advantage. And well, when you're playing this well after you've gone down in the series, why not try and keep it on the opposition?
Yeah, trying to just stall this one out, get a few goals, restore the mental confidence that they showed in game number 1. Paney going for the aerial touch and miss from him. Could set up Nugget with the flick on towards Forza. His flick goes to the corner. Paney looks like he's going to be able to get that one under control and does. Dribbles it over Forza, who's left dying on the floor is Creamy. Says thank you very much to his teammate and takes what is Little Women's first goal of this game.
And that could be a bit of a momentum restorer like that, when you just pass the ball straight down the middle of the pitch and beat the Orgless defence cleanly. But with 37 seconds to go, you can't say this game is done and dusted for Little Wamens, especially if they can muster something up from the kickoff. Huge block from Nugget, might get an opportunity to pass it into the centre as well. Swift denies that opportunity and now chases the ball down the right side, intercepted by Milner as Orgless are just trying to run these last 20 seconds off the clock.
That's what they'll try and do on the attack here. Forza, if that shot had gone in, it would have been game over. Instead, it's blocked. Creamy being the most offensively active, trying to get this one forward. Teammate is dead. Nugget's able to clear only as far as Swift. This would have to have gone in there. The time looks a little bit too low now. Just 3 seconds on the clock. The shot has come in. Nugget with the block, and that is going to be game number 2 going the way of Orgless. It wasn't a shutout, but it was pretty damn close. That's a good game 2 performance from them.
And so the script continues to match what we saw in the league play fixture between these two teams. Little Wamens took game 1, but Orgless have fought back to tie the series. But the question is, have Little Wamens picked up a bit of resistance since that league play fixture? Will they retake the series lead in the next one? Or are we destined to see Orgless storm their way through to the grand final?
I feel like you're accusing Empty of being lazy and reusing storylines that he already wrote for league play, since ECC is scripted and all of that. But genuinely, honestly, this game is it's kind of weird because Little Wamens, the disparity between game 1 and 2 was just so great. Maybe they got a little bit complacent having won that first game so easily, just seemed to just brush past the defense of Orgless. This will be a wake-up call. The question is do they get up and do they claw their way into this grand final, or will Orgless strut their newfound confidence and book their place in that final game of the evening? Should point out quickly, I haven't mentioned it before, but every game will have a different casting duo. So if you're sick of me and Herbie, come to the next game, there'll be 2 different people. That continues for all 4 games tonight. ECC showing you everything that they've got, showing you a great variety of talent. I hope you guys enjoy all of it.
Well, here we go, game 3, and we will see who now goes up 2-1 in the series and puts themselves halfway towards the grand final. And something I wanted to point out from the previous game, even though they had the lion's share of possession as you compared to Little Wamens in the first game of the series, there was only 9 shots on target to Little Wamens' 18 in game 1. Orgless played their game, but it was very much a different style of Rocket League.
Well, it's just less dominant, which is definitely true. It's hard to be as dominant as Little Wamens were in that game number 1. They're looking to start this one a similar way. They're the team on the attack. Swift with the passing play. I think head it towards the net. Works it up in the air. Taps that one away. Nugget's got the ball now on the ground. He's looking to dribble. He's been the quietest man on the server. Could have made a very big statement there. He was intercepted though, missing the air from Swift, and maybe a tactical one by Milne. Has resulted in Little Wamens being able to touch this ball forward. Oh, chance for the double touch. Nugget alive to the danger. Forza, if he did redirected that ball, we could have seen the opener. Instead, it's a little bit of a miss. Here comes Creamy though, going through the air, double touch. Well, maybe going for the third, actually leaves it for his teammate who's not quite there in time. It's going to be Forza though, able to tap that one away. So it's back and forth in the early stages. Saying that though, don't know what happened there. Swift seems to be in entirely the wrong place, and Forza's going to say thank you very much and take the opening goal here.
Yeah, Swift was the last defender back there, and the second player back on the rotation was absolutely nowhere to be seen. It's a free alley-oop of a goal there for Orgless to thump home and score first yet again here in Game 3. Doesn't always seem to be conducive to them winning, but they're continuing the momentum that they had in the previous one. Milner now off the attacking corner, looking for Forza. In for Milner towards the bottom left corner. Great passing play, and they double up on their advantage in quick fashion.
Yeah, we've not really seen that many great passing plays coming out from Orgless. That has changed though. Milner able to tap that into the left-hand side. Forza doing all the work at that left-hand corner. But this is the start, exactly the start they wanted. A 2-0 advantage here. They're looking pretty damn good considering how wrecked they were in game number 1. This is like a completely different side now.
And even in Game 2, in the final 40 seconds, as Little Wamens did pull a goal back, it looked like that they may have wrestled some of the momentum away from Orgless, but now that the buzzer sounded and the new game began, Orgless seemed to be kicking into gear even more. Nugget now pushing it towards the centre. Paney stuck to the floor along the goal line. Forza will have an opportunity to take hold of possession on the far side, trying to fake out the defender approaching them. Nugget, the next player up, rotates infield, and the clear is made by the Little Wamens, and they'll finally get an opportunity to counter-attack themselves. But after putting on so many shots in the first game, they've had so little opportunity to put together their own plays.
It does feel like both their shots were within the first 10-15 seconds. It's similar to game 2's, and they've only had 2 so far. That's a passing play. Might have just been attempted to try and get 2 players involved. I'm not sure if Creamy was meant to ever receive that ball. I think Swift was meant to try and shoot there. It might have been a pass actually from him, but if it was a pass, that is genius stuff from Little Wamens, showing us what they are capable of, and that might just be the sign that they might come back in this series.
Well, when you commit all 3 of your players forwards, it can be a double-edged sword. Sometimes you can concede a goal from distance, as we saw at the beginning of the game. Sometimes it can work in your favour, and Little Wamens have pulled the goal back. We'll see if they can find an equally fast equaliser. Creamy off the backboard, 2 defenders up there for Orgless to make the clear, and Creamy went for it off the sidewall, but didn't read the bounce well enough. Gives Orgless an opportunity to clear their lines up to the left wing, but suddenly the team in blue look to be coming under a little bit more pressure. I think the pendulum has swung.
The pendulum might be swinging, but they need to get goals on the scoreboard, because at the moment Orgless still ahead. That trademark attack has come back out from Little Wamens. That could have been a passing play. Instead it's Creamy taking this one under his wing, going for the air dribble. He somehow dribbled it past everyone. He did all the hard work, and Paney left just with a ball that he had to slot over the 2 players who were left stranded for dead in that net. Nugget and Milne sitting staring at each other as that ball was hit well past them.
That is a sensational pass there from Creamy, the offensive dynamo for Little Wamens in the regular season, and proving to be the same so far in this series. Might even get an opportunity for a flip reset from the kickoff, as the Orgless defence was rooted to the goal line again, possibly still a little bit shell-shocked as to the fashion in which they conceded the previous one, but Milner will now get an opportunity to clear, carrying it over the top of one defender. Swift thumps it off the right wing, looking for Paney up there. The ball will slowly head towards the middle, cleared out by Orgless now, so Little Wamens will look for a different route towards the net. But now it feels like either team's game, that equaliser has changed the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah, momentum with Little Wamens, though. I think we saw in game number 1 is that Orgless were still a threat on the counter-attack, and they've just proved that yet again. Nugget picks up their 3rd goal. They're trying to, the thing about pendulums, Herbie, is they may swing one way, but they'd always swing back, and that might just be what's happened here, as Nugget able to tap the ball into an empty net. Not the first goal into an empty net of this game number 3. That's got to be something Little Wamens they are a little bit concerned about.
One goal for each of the Orgless players now. Everybody's getting involved in the offense, and they'll enjoy seeing that, indicating that all three players are on form in this series, but their one goal lead is a slender one, and they'll look to make it two now. Forza blocks up on Swift, and Creamy steps up to follow the ball out. Pinches it as far as the halfway line, but Milner will thump this one towards an open net. Payne deflects it off the backboard and away. Creamy now rushing down the right wing, and they do look like they have the better of Forza, but not the better of Nugget. Swift into the play themselves, but can't get it all the way into the centre as we have 1 minute to go. Little Wamens still down by one.
Case of defend, defend, defend. Park that bus here for Orgless, as it is going to be an attack from Little Wamens. Nugget alive to the danger, hits that one away. Penny looking to re-centre. Milner with a good aerial block, falls for Forza, able to hit that one further away, wins it in the air as well. Milner with the flick on, that could have gone anywhere. As it stands, is at the right corner, the orange side, able to try and get this one away. Here comes Penny with the flick on. Maybe have done a little bit better there. It's Milner to intercept that one. Creamy looking to set up his teammates, doesn't. Instead he hits it to Nugget. He's hit that towards the orange net, and every second this is in the orange half is one less second of defending that the blue side have to do. 19 seconds now. Things are getting incredibly tight. That's great work in the air from Forza. Gets it around two. The touch isn't there for Nugget though. Flailing in the air, unable to get that one just inside the post, but it might still be enough for Orgless. Milner is the only man back. He's able to make the clearance. Forza up in the air, taps that one away. Will Creamy keep it up in the air, or is this a game number 3 victory for Orgless?
Creamy does keep it up in the air, but that one is headed back towards their own net. Is it all the way in? No, Swift keeps it out, and Payne keeps it up, rebounding it off the other post. Payne still going in midfield. Creamy looking for the bump. Payne equalises for Little Wamens. I can't believe they've kept that ball in the air.
Oh my god, off their own post, off the player in the net. How have they done that? Payne able to dribble the ball down the other side of the net, slot it into the top, and we're going to overtime. This game is well and truly back on.
Huge equaliser there for Little Wamens, but the deed is not done for them. They need to find the winner as well, and they've gotten the ball forwards from the kickoff, and Forza is the only defender back at the moment. Off the left wing it goes, where Payne is on hand to receive it. Swift in for Payne, looking for the quick winner in overtime. Creamy now gets it back on the far side, and Swift will have to go up for this, but Milner will beat them to it, banking out off the left wing in midfield, and follows it on for Nugget to shoot. Creamy saves this one out to the corner as both teams have opportunity in overtime but can't find the goal.
Well, you think the momentum should well and truly be with Little Wamens after that insane goal, but Orgless, they could just end the fairy tale here and now. Fort's able to flick that one forward. Got caught by Creamy though. He'll look to try and take this one towards the net. Nugget hits the ball away, but is killed in the process as Payne trying to take this one forward. He scored that goal that took them to overtime and is intercepted here. Forza going for the double touch off the wall, works out decently for them. Here comes Milner's shot, straight at the keeper of Payne, able to keep that one out. As Orgless, Little Wamens, they're living pretty dangerously right about now.
And here comes another ball in for Forza, and it's another huge save by Swift. Little Wamens are hanging on by a thread at the moment. Creamy will clear this one in the direction of the net, and Forza has an easy save to make. Not so easy on the clearance. Payne gets it back for Little Wamens. Off the ceiling it goes for Creamy to follow up. Nice pass in from the corner. That will float all the way into the centre. Milner has the clear. Forza has to follow it up into the corner, and there's a crunch in 50, and another one won by Swift.
Oh.
They're trying to bundle their way towards the middle, but they can't get it all the way across to that. Creamy now from the left side. They'll try and get this one central, but there is no real opportunity there for Little Wamens, and Forza directs another shot goalwards for Orgless that shows that they seem to be the better team so far in OT.
Period of pressure seemed to be mitigated by Orgless. They're looking to try and build more offense though. It's Creamy here on the halfway line, has the ball taken off him by Forza. He's unable to win the second touch. Nugget, a little bit of an awkward one at his near post. That's a shot just over the bar. Penny hitting it back towards the third man who's not there. Creamy on the retreat is able to stop Milne's shot. That's centred nicely for Nugget. Penny just there first as Forza looking to flick that one. Goal bound it is. A little bit wide. The touch in the air not quite there for Nugget. This is crazy stuff here, as it might just be Forza on the goal line. It was almost beaten there. Did keep the ball away, trying to keep it going further up the pitch. It's Nugget with the flick on, makes sure Creamy can't have it for now. Goes up in the air again, loses out yet again. Penny with the accidental flip. I think that might cost them. Swift is back safely though. That's a flick from Penny, going for the double touch, missing the air from Forza, but Milne makes no such error, as this is end-to-end stuff here.
Yeah, there's high-speed interceptions going on in midfield to prevent the chances from coming through, but this is one for Little Wamens. Payne had their chance deflected away by Forza. Now Swift trying to bank it off the corner and receive it themselves in the middle. Couldn't do that. Forza can't get this clear. This is going to fall nicely for Swift from the ring. Getting it central. Payne's going to receive it on the far side, but they cannot get a shot goalwards at the moment. Payne has their chance deflected away by Nugget, and Swift will have to make this interception. But it is just end-to-end stuff here as we pass 3 minutes of overtime. Who is going to win this? Forza to try and dunk it downwards into the middle. The passing plays are not coming off for either team, and you can sense that this next goal is a hugely important one in terms of the series as a whole.
In terms of the consequences of what it means for the Vortex could be decided by who scores the next goal. Will it be Creamy up in the air? Is intercepted by Milner. And I just couldn't imagine being in the server with these guys. You must just be so stressed out knowing one tiny mistake and the quality of the opposition means that it could cost your team dear. Swift with a shot, 3 players towards the net. The double commit might punish them here. Penny misses the ball though, pass towards Milne. A risky one towards his own net. Here comes the passing play over the bar. Double touch not there. Milne is with the follow-up, a double commit on the defence as well, but Penny streaking that ball away. Nugget, the third man, is back. Forza again is back. So many saves, so many shots, so much action. 4 minutes of overtime gone.
Milner going to pass this ball back into their own corner for Nugget to take it on. Up towards the ceiling. Looking for Milner on the pass and doesn't connect on it. Creamy still has a tough save to make. Now Forza with possession. Swift defends this one along the backboard. Curbs it off into the corner. Nugget didn't get the ball back on the halfway line. Milner will have to retreat all the way to their backboard. Swift lays it off into the middle for Payne, and Milne steps up with a huge clear there to get it away from Little Wamens. But what's happened here? A huge miss in the air from the Orgless defence, and their resistance is broken. Little Wamens have somehow won this game free and lead the series.
Thought it would take a force of nature to break that Orgless defence. Instead, it took Forza missing the aerial, and that's not how you want to lose that game number 3. Little Wamens, they answer right back. They won game 1, lose game 2, win game 3. Why not? And you got to say they're in control of the series now. After that insane regulation goal, I could not believe when that went in. The player read it bouncing off his own post after his teammate made the save. Crazy stuff. And if we have another 3 games like this, Herbie, I think I might just die of a heart attack.
Yes, and I imagine the Orgless players are feeling pretty similar. I can't imagine how close they felt they were to going ahead 2-1 in the series themselves, only for Little Wamens to keep the ball in the air, head up the other end, equalise, and then after 4 minutes and 30 seconds of overtime, win it, arguably not through any quality performance of their own, but just waiting for that defensive miscue from Orgless as the pressure got to the player approaching it in the air. And, well, Little Wamens, they've shown a level of consistency that we did not see from them in the league play fixture between these two teams. They've taken 2 games off Orgless, but can they do it again and advance to the grand final?
Yeah, pressure well and truly on. It'd be crazy if we saw a repeat of that last game. That's what we're tasked with here as we are live in game number 4. Orgless still in the blue, Little Wamens in the orange.
Forza now, as Orgless will try and create something quickly. They've scored the first goal in each of the last 3 games of the series, but they didn't score the last one. And how about this for a shot from Swift? Thunderous finish into the top right corner, 13 seconds in, and Little Wamens may well have set the tone for how the rest of the series is going to look.
Oh, Milne having to try and curl to turn that one out. Would have been an amazing save if he'd made it work. Sadly, could not. 13 seconds gone. We've seen so many early goals here. This game, no difference. For once, though, it is Little Wamens getting it. Here comes Creamy looking for a second. Gets the flip reset. I don't think he really took the ball with him, though. It ends up just falling nicely for Forza. Looking to atone for his error here. Here comes Nugget on the follow-in. Unable to get it anywhere. Instead, it's blocked. Creamy hits that one a little bit further forward. Milne with a touch in the air. Dealt with by Penny. So once again, we're seeing a lot of teams shooting from long distance, trying to get that ball forward, and just midfield interceptions that are so crucial for both teams. It was a missed midfield interception that saw that last tie broken in overtime.
Yeah, for the last couple of goals that Little Wamens have scored, they have come from distance, so why not keep trying to fling the ball on goal from that range? You'll get Orgless at least thinking and possibly break down their rotation again. As it is now, we're 1 minute into game 4, and it remains 1-0 to Little Wamens on that goal from Swift, who now bundles the ball further forwards, but Nugget sends it straight back, and Forza flew in along the goal line looking for the bump, didn't get it. Creamy now to send it goalwards. Forza helps it on into the corner. Nugget will have to get up to this from the ground, and that's always going to be a tricky one, but they put it goalwards, and Swift recovers it along the goal line to keep it 1-0, but Orgless may just be showing signs of life in this game.
Well, they'll need to find the goal of life here, as they are still 1-0 down in this game, and they're one game behind as well in the series. Not looking pretty great for them at the moment. That might change though. Creamy loses out on that 50. Good tap away by Forza, looking to follow it through. Tapped over him. He's got no boost to work with here. He's just going to try and pinch this off a player. They're so reluctant to commit to him, and that might just open things up for Nugget. He's had a good few shots this game. He's had 3, in fact. The rest of his team have had none between them. He could be the man to get Orgless right back into this game.
Forza looking to the left, but Nugget had no boost. Creamy intercepted it, and this could come back to bite the team in blue, but Milner clears it out to the right wing. The danger is not clear yet as it comes straight back for Payne, and it's 2-0 to Little Wamens now. Orgless being held scoreless so far in this game, and that defensive miscue again came back to bite them, and there is going to be some real doubt creeping into their game now.
Yeah, maybe it's just mentally, considering how they lost that last game. Maybe they're broken. Maybe they've got to dig deep if they want to win that grand final. If they want to get back into this, they still have 3 minutes in this game number 4, and at least one more game in this series to make it work. As Forza is going to pelt that ball long. Creamy with a good catch. Forza again hits it in, wins the 50 just about, looking to set up his teammate, but Milner has been killed by Swift. Creamy now looking to take this one forward. He's gotten it past 2 players. Forza trying to shadow defend, ends up tapping it towards his own net. That's centered perfectly. Or P&E. Great work by Creamy. He drove that ball down that right-hand side, and in the end, he does enough to set up his teammate.
Yeah, Creamy's ball control is just so impressive to carry that ball past the 2 defenders, making the top team in Vortex League play look completely average defensively there as they got the ball all the way into the centre, and it was an easy finish in the end. A 3-goal lead now at the halfway point for Little Wamens, and they are potentially on the verge of going 3-1 up in this series unless Orgless can produce a miraculous response of their own.
Well, we've seen one comeback already in the series. Maybe Orgless can show us what they can do. Swift up in the air. Loses that ball. Nugget looking to centre this one as far as Forza. Gets a touch on. Saved by Penny. Here comes Nugget with the shot. Oh, a little bit unfortunate for Swift. He was perfectly positioned. The ball just agonisingly goes over his right shoulder. And they're 1/3 of the way through this comeback.
It's a great finish there from Nugget into the bottom right corner after they'd initially set up their teammate with the pass. They still recovered on that left wing to get the ball back again and take the shot. And now they are back within 2. Nugget, the goal scorer, does get it towards the centre again. Orgless could have a quick one back again, but Creamy clears this one out to the sidewall. It will be Forza's possession. Huge bump there from the defender. Forza flies all the way over the halfway line. Orgless do keep their attack going, but now Creamy is going to get this one into the offensive third at the other end and possibly alleviate some of the pressure on the Little Wamens.
Yeah, Orgless have been looking pretty threatening, just not quite getting enough shots on the net to be able to get this comeback going. Here comes Penny in the air, going for the redirect. Not sure if he got a little tiny touch to that, but either way, Milne with the save. Wins 2 50s in a row, sets up Forza. He's 1-on-1 with the keeper, hits the perfect shot. That man is on fire throughout this game so far, and he's found his second goal.
And there is life in Orgless as they are now back within 1, and 120 is plenty of time for them to get back into this. The pendulum that I mentioned in the previous game continues to swing in both directions. Orgless need it to tilt a little further their way though. They still need at least 1 goal to tie this one up. Forza looking towards the centre. Payne's going to clear and follow it up down the wing. Massive pinch there from Creamy. Bounces off the backboard for Creamy to take it back again. Swift with the field's backflip. Forza's going to clear this one up to the left side, and there might be a chance for Orgless here as we are into the last minute. The demo from Nugget opens up the play. Milner tried to get it on the far side, but Payne stepped up to make a huge clearance.
Forza the only man back here. If he gets a good clearance, that might just set them up for an attack. 45 seconds, still plenty of time for them to find that 1 goal. Great fit win of the 50. Milne hits it to the corner, looks to redirect this one. Instead, it's Penny to get their first shot from Forza. A little bit wide, ball's dragging across, save on the line by Swift. That's what they need. They'll look to try and get this ball away instead. Here comes Creamy on the left, gets it towards the centre. Forza will be able to clear this one, and with 30 seconds on the clock, looks like Orgless might just repeat what had been done to them in the previous game. They need to do it quickly.
17 seconds to go. The ball floats along the goal line. Nugget will try and send it back. Payne, that's a powerful clearance for Little Wamens. They just want to keep the ball in the corner, I think now. Nugget, huge clearance from them. Creamy is the only defender. Gets demoed for their trouble. Swift will chip it up towards the ceiling. Last couple of seconds now. Forza puts it into the middle, but Payne is going to clear this. and Little Wamens are on the brink of the grand final. They go 3-1 up in this series with a 3-2 victory.
Wow, crazy stuff again in this series. Little Wamens, though, they're getting the game results. That's what they need, and they're currently sitting pretty on what is series point. Just one more game required for them to take this one over the line. Just a reminder that every other game today will be coming quickly after this one. This is where it all ends, Herbie. There's no more days after this, which is sad, but also happy. Some great Rocket League coming up, and I hope you guys stick around. Do not move from those seats, even after this series is over.
Well, for Orgless, they could well be moving from their seats as they are now on the brink of being sent down to the losers bracket. If they lose this next one and go down in 5 games to Little Wamens, there will be 3 opportunities for Little Wamens to take home this series victory, the first of which is in Wasteland, and they're going to be feeling super confident after hanging on for that 3-2 win. Yes, Orgless did put some pressure on them in the final couple of minutes, but I think the momentum firmly remains with the team in orange.
Well, I would say this map might perfectly symbolise how Orgless are currently feeling. Things are looking pretty desolate for them. They're staring down the barrel of what would be an unexpected defeat and knock to the lower bracket. And if this is the first game of the day, goodness knows what we've got ahead of us, as Peony will have early possession of the football. Decent chance across the middle. No one there for Orgless, though. That's a miss. Nugget probably could have gone for the shot there. Instead, he elected to try and hit it off the backboard for a teammate. Instead, they're on the defensive now. Milne able to hit that ball away. Nugget going up for that aerial. He switched to the Octane. Maybe it might change up his fortunes. As it stands, though, we're still waiting for our goal to break the deadlock. No early goals here. 4.5 minutes still to go. 0-0 the score.
Well, Little Wamens scored first in the previous game for the first time in the series, and they ended up holding on to that lead for the duration of the game. So it's pivotal for Orgless that they don't concede the first goal again in this one and set the game into a similar pattern to game 4. So now they push it down the left wing, looking to get it into the centre. Forza was hoping for the bumps along the goal line. Paney will clear it over to the far side, but Forza puts it back into the middle. Ominously for Little Wamens, Swift will just have to block this one. Over to the corner where Paney gets it off the sidewall. Nugget now trying to pass it into the centre, but that one was too high for any of the teammates to receive. There is still no goal in this game. That's a little uncharacteristic of what we've seen in the previous few. There was typically one team that had the lead by now and would start to play more of a measured approach, but this is very end-to-end stuff, and I think Orgless know exactly how important this game is.
Maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in for both sides. Everything's been heart-stopping so far, so intense. Maybe teams trying to calm it down a little bit, play a little bit more measured. So far, that seems to be the way things are going, as 2 minutes have been played so far. It seems Orgless are the team that's had the more of the ball, though. Tending towards that orange net. Not a plethora of shots coming through yet. In fact, just a single one. Make that 2 as Forza picks up his second. He's had 100% of the shots so far. Most likely man to break the deadlock. Definitely, I would say. But which of these two sides do you think will be able to push this one over the line?
Well, I think Little Wamens is still going to be very confident as long as they're keeping this game 0-0. They are in the driver's seat for this series as a whole right now with the 3-1 advantage, so they can afford to take this more measured approach. It's Orgless that need to try and pile some goals home, not just for this game, but for the next couple as well beyond this if they do start to pick up the wins, and they're not doing that right now. As long as the clock continues to tick downwards, Little Wamens are potentially getting closer to the grand final. All they need is one. Into the middle it goes for Paney. Off the corner again for Swift to take it on. Nugget alive to the danger off the backboard, sends it over to Forza down the left, as we are well past the halfway point and it's 0-0 still.
Yeah, no shortage of action, mainly centering around that orange net. Milne looking to get an attack going. He seems to be the man who's turning the gears of that offense, getting things going. Forts is the man who's been hitting the shots, though. He's still the only man in the server who's had a shot. Actually, no, tell a lie, Penny's had one. He looked to get another one here. It's Swift coming across as well. Nugget takes that ball under his control. Is caught just about by Creamy. Might set up Milne in the air. Gets a touch. It's going towards the orange net, but Swift is cool, calm and collected. Able to collect that one. Hit it a little bit further away. Here comes Nugget from nowhere. Almost gets a goal. Penny with the gathered clearance. Able to tap that one a little bit further away. Milne in the air again. Able to deal with that one. So at the moment I'd say it's end-to-end stuff, but the ends seem to be okay. I've just been interrupted by Forza with the double touch play. What a way to break the deadlock here.
That is a filthy double tap from a very narrow angle. What a way to open the scoring in this game, and it's gone to the team that needed it more. Orgless are ahead with 90 seconds to go. Still plenty of time for Little Wamens to get themselves back into this, but they've lost the kickoff as well. Nugget is going to get this possession and swerve it into the centre from the right. Creamy blocks the first attempt at the pass, but Forza is still going. Paney bumps Forza into making the clear for them. Nice defending there, but the damage is still done. Orgless are leading, and you can see the confidence has just ballooned for them as they're chasing down a second. Not going to get it here as Nugget was on a solo mission up front, but they have maintained this lead with a minute to go.
Yeah, Little Wamens, they have 1 minute to try and save this from going to a game number 6. And they've looked second best for most of this game number 5. It's worth saying, though, they look second best in that game where they won in overtime, and this could be a similar story. Double touch from a Swift. Anything you can do, Forts, I can do better. Levels things up 1-1.
These are very much Vortex quality goals that we're seeing here from both teams now. Little Wamens have produced an answer to Orgless's double tap, and now with 48 seconds to go, the pressure is going to ramp up on Orgless once again as they need to find another goal in what has been a very tightly contested, low-shooting game. And look at this from Paney. Needed the extra touch there as the defenders were completely caught off guard. Instead, it's going to be Nugget looking over the top, and there was a bump attempt in mid-air on Creamy there with the flip reset just to try and keep the ball away from the Orgless attackers as we have 30 seconds to go. Milner to clear it up the right wing. Swift gets it back again, looking into the centre for Paney. The ball's going to drop down in front of the net. Nugget clears this one up onto the side wall and carries it forwards for Orgless on the counter-attack. Forza off the backboard. Milner to follow it up towards the net. It's in! 14 seconds to go. Orgless are in front.
I thought the chance had gone from when Forza hit that just a little bit over. Great work. It's all Nugget there. Hits Swift out of the way. Lets Milner have a clean shot into the centre. All these goals have been relatively clean, except for Forza. It feels like every goal has been like a little bit of a regression. Not the highest quality stuff. Maybe a little blip in the series, which has been such high quality so far, and we could be set up for a grand slam finish here, as it is going to be Little Wamens on the attack. Penny with the touch. It's Forza who's accidentally set up Creamy for the goal. What a blunder that was.
Oh, Orgless, what are you doing? So close to being over the line there and getting yourselves to game 6, and they've given Little Wamens a free equaliser. Just 3 seconds to go. This series could end right here and now if Little Wamens can create something from the kickoff. Creamy has won it out to the left wing, and they are going to get a chance in the middle. No, it's Nugget up for this one, trying to tap it towards the centre. Swift will get the clear. Creamy launches it forwards, but we do have overtime in game 5. 1 goal sends Little Wamens to the final.
Well, we've seen this one before. A last-minute goal from Little Wamens takes things to overtime. Oh my god, Creamy, you can't end the series like this. Okay, he doesn't. Milner able to come back. But the ball's still on their backboard. Risky business for them. Creamy to gather and collect on the halfway line. Looks to set up Swift. He's not quite in position to be able to receive that one. Creamy again with the ball. Milner with the shot. Penny with an awkward save to make. Makes it perfectly, though. Balls the ball towards Nugget. Milner on the right-hand side looking for that ball. It's just Forza left. He's in a one-on-one. Demo going in for the keeper, it's there. And Little Wamens there in the final.
A series winning goal, equal in power as they have been over the course of this game. Orgless hit a double tap, Little Wamens hit a double tap of their own. Orgless got a demo play, Little Wamens responded in overtime with their demo play, and that was the finisher over the course of this series as Little Wamens have upset the odds. The second place team in the Vortex League play have beaten the previously unbeaten Orgless. They're going to move on to the grand final. They'll pick up the 1 game advantage in there as well and make themselves the huge favourites to win the Vortex.
It is worth pointing out, though, that Orgless, they aren't finished yet. They will have a chance to lick their wounds. They will be going to the lower bracket and playing the winner of our next game, which I hope you guys will stick around for. The question is Little Wamens, you know, even if they play Orgless again, they will have that 1 game advantage. They've pretty much got one hand on this trophy, and it's theirs to lose now, almost, I would say.
Yes, of course. They don't just have that 1 game advantage. They've got the mental advantage over Orgless as well, taking them down in 5 games like this. It wasn't an extended series. It certainly had every opportunity to be, as we could see the quality that Orgless had at various points in the series that made them an unbeaten team in league play, but Little Wamens have got that psychological advantage over Orgless, But Orgless are not who we're going to be seeing next. We will be heading over to the lower bracket round 1 between the 3rd and 4th place teams in the Vortex, respectively. It's 1-2 FarQ versus Mercury Esports. Both of those teams are fresh, and they'll be looking to make a lower bracket run and upset both of these top 2 teams.
It will be a big ask for them, but which of the two will have their crack at Orgless? That's what we're still waiting to see. That's what we'll be seeing answered pretty shortly. I hope you guys will stick around for that one. That's going to wrap up me and Herbie's season. It was great casting with you, Herbie. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have.
It was a massively enjoyable season for me throughout the ECC. It's been terrific competition from bottom to top, all the way from Division 4 now into the Vortex. But whilst we are done, the action here is not. And very shortly, we will be passing you over to Victor and Muzz for the lower bracket semi-final.